Hey people, it is Monday, January the 6th. The time is 4:37 in the afternoon, and it is a very cold -7 or -8 Celsius last time I checked, but with a wind chill factor feeling more like -18 degrees Celsius. But we're not in the wind at the moment. I'm inside Old Mill subway station here, just having gotten off a train. This is on line 2. And this is one of the more interesting subway stations, I think, in the whole Toronto subway system. It is right next to a bridge going over the Humber River. And you get some nice views of the surrounding area. I'm going to make my way up to street level and over to Bloor Street. I'm going to walk east along Bloor into Bloor West Village. There's 2 trains going eastbound. Still haven't seen another one coming westbound yet. Comes the train westbound. So as I said, I'm going to head up to Bloor Street and we'll walk through Bloor West Village, and I'll end the video somewhere around the High Park area. It's been a while since I've done a full walk through Bloor West Village. So we got a good look at Old Mill subway station here. Yep, current temperature -8. Now we have to head out into that wind chill, which feels about 10 degrees colder than the actual temperature. Here comes another train already. Running to catch the bus. All right, kind of reluctant to go out here, but I guess it has to happen at some point. And hopefully my face won't freeze off. It really is one of those I can't feel my face kind of days. But no snow, as you can see. So we're right around the boundary between Etobicoke and Old Toronto. And of course, we're walking towards Old Toronto and through one of its nicer neighborhoods, I would say, along Bloor Street through Bloor West Village. walk over the Humber River. And there's where we were. See a train heading through the station. Kind of quiet here right now. I mean, we have a little bit of traffic, but not all that much. I think it has the feeling today of a kind of a quiet January Monday. Maybe everyone's got the post-holiday blues, and this cold snap isn't helping. I think a lot of people also have colds. I'm just getting over one myself. I think a lot of people have caught something or other over the last couple of weeks. People laying low, staying in. There's a cool view of the Humber Bay Shore skyline. That's down near the shores of Lake Ontario. That's still within Etobicoke. It looks like the river is pretty much frozen over right now. See a train passing over. What a frosty looking view. I wonder how thick that ice is. It looks like it's almost open in a few spots. I wouldn't trust it unless I saw someone jumping up and down on it or something. Some brave person. Can you imagine how absolutely freezing cold that water would be if you fell through the ice? Actually, the wind isn't blowing so much, so the wind chill factor is not all that apparent right now. That's fine with me. I'm going to be walking in this direction for quite a while, all the way back to downtown, because after this video I'm going to start a live stream. I'll continue heading east along Bloor Street. Yeah, we're still in Etobicoke because you can see the street signs are not the usual Toronto style or old Toronto, even though Etobicoke is part of the city of Toronto now and has been for going on 30 years. The street signs are still different in all of the old boroughs. You can sort of tell where you are by looking at the street signs if you're near one of the old boundaries between one borough or another. we'll know when the street signs go from blue to white that we've entered Old Toronto. Lots of nice older apartment buildings. These Tudor style ones are all over this area. I think I jokingly referred to this as the Tudor district a few times. There's another interesting retail area to the west of here called the Kingsway. And here we go. We've entered Old Toronto. Somewhere in the last minute or so. Or maybe right here. I'm not sure exactly where the boundary is. Upscale apartment buildings here, or condos, whatever the case may be. And here are the Bloor bike lanes. They extend all the way to the west through the Kingsway area, as I mentioned. And that's the neighborhood, I think, that kind of set off all the anti-bike lane talk that's been going on in the city over the last several months. I think residents in that area, or not all, but some residents are business owners in the Kingsway. Thought that the bike lanes were detracting from the businesses and adding to congestion. And Doug Ford is from Etobicoke, so I guess he felt he had to step up and represent his constituents. That's a hard word to say. Constituents. Even if not all of them felt that way, but just a small minority. And now it looks like those bike lanes will be removed, and possibly all of the Bloor Street bike lanes, not just that section. All right, we're coming into Bloor West Village. Dogtopia. I wonder if the dogs feel as if they're in some sort of utopia when they're there. Maybe I'll cross, because I seem to always walk along the north side of Bloor. Maybe every time I do a walk through Bloor West Village. Although, is this an actual crosswalk here? Maybe I'll go over to Jane. I think that's an actual crosswalk. And then we'll walk along the south side of Bloor. Well, I could have avoided walking underneath all this scaffolding if I did cross back there. But it's a really neat retail and commercial strip. Quite a distance. Pretty much to High Park. Around High Park it does transition to residential for a little ways, but then it picks up as a commercial strip again all the way into downtown Toronto. And here is Jane Street. So Jane subway station is just right over here. And this area is also known as Little Ukraine, so you'll see lots of Ukrainian businesses and Ukrainian signs. All right. Let's hope that wind stays away. As soon as I said that, the wind gusts. Got a Krispy Kreme there. And lots of very nice independent restaurants here in Bloor West Village. Lots of independent shops. Lots of flower shops and that sort of thing. Fruit stands. And in the summer, it's very lively, well into the evening. People going out to dinner and that sort of thing. Yeah, the surrounding residential areas are quite well to do. So, sort of shops and restaurants you'll find here in Bloor West Village tend to cater to that demographic. But you find a little bit of everything, really. It's not all fancy by any means. Fat Bastard Burrito and Falafel World are more up my alley. Definitely a bit quiet right now. I mean, it is freezing cold out, as I mentioned. Just in case you didn't know where you were. Jasmine. Got a Book City. That's a neat little local bookstore chain. Swansea Town Hall, that's right. Once upon a time, Swansea was a separate town. Head down this way. There's not much of a commercial core to the old town of Swansea, though. I did a video through there a few years ago. It's mainly residential, with just a few little buildings here and there that indicate that it was a town at all at one point. Some of their holiday decor up. Here's a little shopping arcade of sorts. All your shoe needs. This is a cool old Art Deco style building here. St. Pius X Catholic Church. Definitely a bit of a different design for a church. (1954), so well past the Art Deco period, but it sort of just had that look to it. The sun is setting. The Bloor Meat Market seems to be closed. Maybe it's closed on Mondays. I find many independent stores do close on Mondays. The Grumpy Gourmet, that's definitely open right now. Most places are open. Queen's Pasta Cafe. Thai restaurant. The Works. That's another local chain. I think most of this area was built up around 100 years ago. Within the first 20 years of the 1900s, or around the 1920s, I think, is when a lot of these storefronts were built. I always like to look for dates on the facades of some of these old buildings that will tell you exactly when it was built, but I haven't really seen any. Other than that church back there, which is from the 50s, but that's definitely a bit more recent than a lot of these buildings. I think this was an old theater, and then it was a bookstore for a long time. And now it's a Shoppers Drug Mart of all things. Okay, here we go. Runnymede Theater, 1927. So, 1920s. You can pause and read. Too bad it's not a theater still. The Kingsway area, further to the west that I was talking about, does have an old theater still in operation now. And this is Runnymede Road. It's a major cross street. $1 plus. I wonder if things are still close to $1 in that dollar store. And here's one of the many Firkin pubs you'll find around the city. That was the Swan. Sun is setting even a bit more now than last time. Well, obviously. Here's a rather warehouse-looking no-frills grocery store, but it is a full-service grocery store, which is no doubt much appreciated by everyone who lives in the area. They can all be in charming old historic buildings. A bit of a plaza style to this one. And I think this is where we sort of start coming out of Bloor West Village. nice old public library building across the street. Not as old as I thought it was, though. I remember looking at that in another recent video. Now we're coming into the High Park area. So as I said, things sort of transitioned to residential for a little ways until just past High Park. And then it resumes as a commercial strip again. So maybe I'll take us to my favorite old apartment building in this whole west end of Toronto. Which is 2001 Bloor Street West. And I'll start to wrap up this walk. And there's the building. And High Park is just a block or two to the east of here, the actual park. This building is very awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap things up. I hope you enjoyed the walk along Bloor Street West, starting at Old Mill subway station. Got a good look at trains coming and going from there. And then we made our way down to Bloor Street and continued east into and through Bloor West Village, taking a look at some of the interesting shops and restaurants on this freezing cold day here in Toronto. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And also make sure you hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store, or you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member, or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram also under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members, and be sure to keep checking back, because, as always, I will continue.